rings, bracelets, necklaces, oh my, and more. We're at Cunningham'S Jewelry with David to talk about how you make all this, most of the jewelry that's here, as well as some other items that are in the store. So first tell us how it really got started, because you're going to be celebrating a year in March of being open. So how'd you get started?
Well, we've been jewelers in the area for a while. You know, we worked behind the scenes a lot of the times in different places, and we thought it's time for us to have our own place. So we just love to make things, jewelry, and you know, we're artists at heart, and metal is just our medium.
Yeah,
so
you can definitely tell that you're artists at heart. The pieces that are in here are beautiful. So like I said, you have necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings. What else is here?
We do have some lacquered roses that are gold trimmed. Those we don't make here, but everything else we pretty much make here. And we use various techniques. Some are just hand fabricated. We make them out of sheet and metal, wire. We can set any kind of stone in the mountings. And other things we do casting, 3D printing, and CAD design. We'll sit down and we'll design it on the program. It's a jewelry specific CAD program, and we just draw out the lines, the surfaces, make the shapes, put in the settings, and once it's done here, we send it to the 3D printers, and we'll have them print the piece. So once we send the file to the 3D printer and it prints, we end up with parts.
Oh, that's so cool.
Look like that.
Now, how long does something like this take to print?
This took about 6 hours to
Wow.
print 10 of them. So these are the fully cured models with the supports cleaned up off of them. This is a pendant. A chain will actually run through the holes there as a bail.
So that's what we just saw come out after you've gone through the whole process of cleaning it and whatnot.
Correct. And we can cast this in any metal. So we'll attach these wax sprues to it, and then we're going to pour investment around it. And once that's cured, then we go to casting. So we put a metal can or sleeve around the pieces, and we're going to pour the plaster. It's like plaster of Paris, but it's specific for casting. And we'll pour the plaster around it and fill it, and then it's got to sit about 4 hours for it to fully harden, and then we'll put it in the oven and melt out all the wax. We'll let that sit about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, and then before we leave at night, we'll put it in the oven. And then the oven will ramp up temperature. It starts at about 300 degrees, and then it'll go up all the way up to 1400 degrees to completely vaporize anything that's in there. The wax and everything. That's why it's lost wax casting. You lose the wax. So then we have a negative area that the metal will fill once we melt it and cast it. When we order metal, we get it in casting grain like that. So that's all weighed out for how much we're going to need to fill that flask. The casting machine will melt that metal using an induction coil. So this soaks in a devesting solution until it's cleaned up. So he's grinding off the excess metal from the sprue. So he'll keep polishing it now.
And then it's finished.
Yes, and we'd like to give you this one.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. I'm so excited. I can say I saw this being made.
Yes.
So thank you.